45 years. 4.5 decades. 45 years is a substantial amount of time to be weary of the threat of nuclear holocaust. And in the attempt to successfully close out the Second World War, then President Harry S. Truman felt as though he must make a dire decision to prove to the world that if you F around, you shall indeed find out. Unfortunately, Japan became the first case study in the newly written FAFO doctrine of the United States. Truman, however, called this the Potsdam Declaration. This outlined the terms for Japan's unconditional surrender. Japan would call his bluff, and the results would live in infamy throughout the world forever thereafter. Sometimes in life, paranoia can be a formidable motivator. And once the United States caught the slightest wind of the Third Reich's nuclear program, they immediately went to work. Through what is now known as the Manhattan Project, the old red, white, and blue and its scientists, spearheaded by J. Robert Oppenheimer, were able to manufacture the very first atomic bomb to royally blow shit up on a level never seen before. The US would ultimately drop not one, but two of these devastators on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, with the cute little code names Fat Man and Little Boy. Not only did it stop Japan dead in its tracks, quite literally, but it sent a clear message to friends and foes across the planet alike. Most intentionally, Soviet Russia. And not only would this effect eventually cause Russia to successfully engineer and manufacture their own nuclear bomb or bombs, but it would possibly trigger a mysterious phenomena unlike anything ever witnessed before. Just 2 years after the first successful atom bomb test in the New Mexico desert was conducted, a shocking discovery would be made in the nearby town of Roswell, less than 150 miles away. An article in the Roswell Daily Record on July 8th of 1947 with the headline RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region would be published. However, this headline, article, and discovery on the Brazil Ranch was quickly retracted and redirected as just some sort of debris to a weather balloon once the Roswell Army Airfield intervened. But it was a little too late and the headline had already made international news. The entire incident would kickstart all of the necessary ingredients to some of the most saucy and delicious conspiracy theories to date. Crashed interstellar craft, government cover-ups, dead alien corpses and autopsies, and reverse engineering alien tech. But one intriguing question arises from this particular event. Could the time and location of the discovery be significant? What are the odds of an extraterrestrial craft probing around, pun intended, in the exact same desert where nuclear bomb testing had been conducted just 2 years prior? And who knows for how long? It would appear that the uptick in UFO phenomena really seemed to kick off shortly after the production and use of nuclear weapons. And since Roswell, there have been multiple accounts and alleged eyewitnesses to sometimes swarms of craft hovering over these nuclear silos across the entire globe. After years of non-disclosure, retired U.S. Air Force Captain Robert Salas finally blew the whistle on his time at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, in March of '67, when he says a craft with a spectacular eerie red glow decided to disable 10 warheads by disrupting navigation systems using some kind of intermittent electrical pulse. And this wasn't the first occurrence at Malmstrom. It had literally just happened 8 days before, according to Salas's crew commander. A 10-year Soviet investigation had also been prompted shortly after another UFO or UAP was spotted over military nuclear facilities in what was at the time Soviet Ukraine, circa 1982. This time, the instigator would actually activate missile launch systems and enable the ICBMs, or intercontinental ballistic missiles, in order to tear shit up. Luckily, World War III did not kick off at this time. I believe this was a mere power move to show who's actually boss. Now, I'm no physicist or astronomer or any scientist for that matter, but I would think that if we primitive mammals decided to trade nuclear weapons with one another across this planet, I would imagine it would absolutely disrupt the rest of our entire solar system. Not only shooting molten rock across the galaxy and into neighboring planets, but completely throwing off the gravitational pull of the entire Milky Way. I could be wrong. However, if that is even remotely close to what might happen in that scenario, then I think I can understand the frequent attempts to interject at these nuclear holocaust facilities to subtly say, hey dumbasses, what the hell are these for? Just say it.